Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Hard West. In the previous episode, we went around rescuing what we thought was an innocent bystander, but instead turned out to be an actual clairvoyant. Lost much of our party, but we managed to gain the cipher, and have learned the location of the sanctuary where Solomon Delir is hiding the meteor. Like I said, in between episodes, I divided up the cards, but as you can see, because of these guys are fresh to the party and haven't been in any tactical encounters, they don't have as many card slots as they could. So I basically just divided up the cards based on what the characters needed in terms of stats. I'd like to think I did a decent job. I also give Cervantes a straight so he gets like some HP regeneration, because he's the only character who can get that. He's not the only essential one, but he is the only one I can give a regeneration to. But without further ado, let us head into Sanctuary and bring an end to this. The magnificent villa was fortified and would require great force to capture. It didn't look like a hiding place for a mystical object, but according to the cipher, this was the fabled sanctuary that Delir had built. They were certain Delir was there, this time without the protection of his clairvoyant. That did not mean that he wasn't still a force to be reckoned with. If they were to make any last preparations, now was the time. Now, according to what I've read, there are actually two combat stages to this. The first one holds some of the most powerful enemies you're going to be dealing with, but if you can get through that, the second stage should be no problem. They attacked the sanctuary. And we just got the achievement, His Leniency, the Inquisitor. The achievement basically states, complete law and order having committed at most 2 massacres. You can't get that and the mammoth rifle at the same time, so yeah, you kind of need to be careful with that. So you're basically gonna have to run through this twice. Proceed to combat. Solomon Delir had been a man of science most of his life. For the first time in decades, he turned to God as he prepared his last stand.
The Grand Inquisitor reached his destination. The end of a very long trail. The sanctuary. Here was where Solomon Delir would make his last stand.
Huh. Just got an achievement, the Wild Bunch. Use at least 30 different characters during tactical encounters throughout the game. Interesting. Okay, so we got a bunch of guys, gotta kill them all. There's this meteor that we're supposed to be defending, or capturing, so that we can return madness to the west. But we gotta kill everybody here first. Makes sense. Could send someone up this way, but then that person's got a shot at him. Yeah, these guys are tough. Sanctuary Guardians. Makes sense. Okay. I think I'm just going to end up having to use this turn to get some setup positions. In order to start taking enemies out. Could I get him... I could technically get him set up over here, but I don't know who else is around this corner. Get him set up here, try and take a shot with the Holy Musket to try and take him out. Which is what I'm going to do. Alright, nobody else around. 69% chance. Gotta take it. Whew, okay, good. Good. Now I can start getting set up to try and take others out. Not even gonna bother trying to shoot at these guys up top, because they are gonna be well protected. Okay, this guy had enough movement that he could still take a shot, and it's 100% chance. So, of course, I'm going to take it. Uh-oh. Now, he did see us, which means we can see him. There's Delir. Definitely going to send somebody to try and kill that guy in the shack. Question is, who? 7 damage. You have a 100% chance. Let's see, who has the ricochet? Ah, good. Cervantes does. That's only 6 damage. Gonna have to use the Holy Musket for this in that case. You reload and take a shot. You start moving in here. Take cover over this way. Let's see. I'm not going to send Rom up there alone. Okay, you two reload your Holy Muskets. Because with all of these super tough enemies, we're going to need all the Holy Musket shots we can get. This is going to reduce your ability to help this round, but you know, so be it. Which means, once again, I'm not sending Rom upstairs. But I can position people to be able to go upstairs with him next turn. Ooh. If I recall correctly, these guys had 8 HP upstairs. Yep, I was right. Sanctuary Guardian. Oh, there's that guy. Yep, Solomon Delir. And that guy's 100% chance, but I gotta take out these guys upstairs before they cause me any problems. Alright, Chip, can you get into a good position to take this other guy out? I do believe you can. I'm not gonna take any chances that putting him behind the bookshelf, which, yes, while is high cover, will prevent him from being able to see this guy. Okay, you head upstairs as well. Rom, I think I'll keep you downstairs. May as well take a shot at the guy. Ooh. But that does give me a bunch of luck, which means I can use my ricochet. Once I've reloaded, that is. Do I go for Delir first? Or shall I save him for last? Screw it, save him for last. 64%. 60%. Take the 60%. Oh, dang. Wasn't expecting him to actually manage to hit them. Rom's not hearing anyone else. Chip, you reload, and you know what? Head downstairs to help Rom. Okay, got just enough luck to pull this off.
Finally, the one and only true Solomon Delir was dead.
Okay, he was the last one.
Solomon and all the guards at the sanctuary were no longer among the living. It was time for the Inquisitor and his followers to gather at the meteor and begin the ritual. Once in position around the meteor, they began to chant their infernal verses. The sound of an approaching mob broke their concentration. Who would dare interfere? Sister Rosa led the righteous multitude, determined to make amends for what she had done. Cervantes knew the ritual could be quickened by igniting the skull torches in the garden.
Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna want to send Chip and Dave after the skull torches that are near the manor. We're also gonna want to send Cervantes and Rom to the ones that are in the garden mazes. Garden maze? Maze garden? Whatever. Shame I couldn't pick their positioning for this, because I would have definitely positioned them much differently. Rom, you start rushing for that one. Cervantes, you rush for this one. And Chip, I'm going to start sending you towards this one. I'm hoping you can... Yeah, he can get past that. Sounding like a fair number of people, but they shouldn't be too difficult. Saw our first one. But it doesn't really matter. Okay, now we just need to survive another 3 turns. Basically, we're just going to want to take cover behind the, I guess, sconces, torches, these big things over here in order to deal with the mob. Now, I have to wonder, does the size of the mob depend on how many massacres you conducted? It would be interesting if the more massacres you committed, the less people that there were to join the mob, or vice versa. But yeah, these guys are less tough than the Sanctuary Guardians we dealt with, so it shouldn't be too difficult of a fight. Interesting. All the bodies are exactly where we left them. Would have figured this would just be loading into a new area. Yeah, I'm only gonna do 2 damage, and he's the only one you can shoot at. Eh, better to not waste the ammo. Same here.
Blast from the meteor could be heard for hundreds of miles. It melted off Raum's flesh to reveal his true form, an abomination, a demon.
Yep. Not only that, his loadout will change. He's now got the quarter-pounder pistol and the 12-gauge defender. This is basically our cue to start rushing and just take out everybody. Guys, we basically have the power of a demon on our side. Tisk tisk. Shouldn't have been taking cover there, fool. Oh, come on. You're telling me you can't see her through there? And neither can you. Oh, there's Rosa. May as well take a shot to start draining her luck with. Only 3 defenders remain. And they shall die like fools. Alright, I'll place him over here, flanking them. And putting him into some high cover. Shame there's no ricochet I can pull off with Cervantes. Like I did with Delir. Ah, poor Rosa. You fool. Should have stayed by my side.
Sister Rosa's demise gave Cervantes a feeling of perverse satisfaction.
Oh, come on. 80% shot and you missed. Only one remains. You shall get to live in terror for one more round. Rom, why don't you finish him off?
The last remnants of the Order were finally gone, and the Inquisitor's quest was over.
And that's pretty much all there is to be said about that. Now, we're not going to move on to the next of the scenarios, A Matter of Time, yet. Because we are still missing one final trinket. I am basically going to go through this basically doing all of the massacres, just to guarantee I get it. But I will be skipping over the tactical missions. I'll show what happens with this, all the slaughtering, and obviously when we get the trinket, but beyond that, you don't have to worry about too much. So, I will see you guys when we get to our first massacre. Okay, very briefly, I actually just wanted to show you what would happen if, you set off these electrode things before killing them off, because we didn't get to see that. So, let's see what happens.
The power unleashed from those charged coils electrocuted everyone in the shed. The blast from that burst of energy blew the doors wide open. Delir was dead. His demise seemed almost too easy.
Okay, yeah, it basically just kills everyone in there. Good to know. Oh, by the way, I also set the difficulty for this down to easy because I just want to rush through this. Okay, now I will see you guys during the massacre. Okay then, we're at the map. We've got basically the locations for all these guys to kill. But because this is going to have a negative effect, I am going to first hit up the traders to buy up the stuff that I'm going to need. I don't think that the Fate Trader is affected by those changes. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to buy up the Candle of the Dead and the Holy Musket first and foremost. There we go. Candle of the Dead. May as well also buy the Doomsday Watch, seeing as how I'm not going to be getting the, or not going to be using up a whole lot of money. He says spending $424. Alright, now we'll head for the 3 locations. Let's head for the Trapper first. Let the devil sort them out. Cervantes and Perez snuck up to the mountain men's longhouse that night and blocked its only door with a stack of wood. Then they set the building ablaze. When the sleeping men woke, they were already being devoured by flames. Cervantes and Perez rested and watched the hut turn to ash. The cipher piece was still warm when Cervantes recovered it. Now, however, without the leather the mountain men provided, certain wares became much harder to acquire. Now, for the farm. The devil sort him out. Cervantes introduced himself as a man of God on a mission of utmost importance. He commanded everyone on the farm to meet in front of the barn. Once everyone was assembled, Cervantes and Perez drew their guns and ordered everyone inside. Then Perez blocked the doors while Cervantes lit the building on fire. The next day, they dug through the charred remains and found the cipher piece. No, wait, it was the harbor, not Wretchport. Cervantes decided the best course of action was to burn the entire place to the ground, but the harbor was no place to start things. He needed the kind of weak-minded manpower that could be found in a respectable part of town. Organize an angry mob at Wretchport, eh? Fine. Thanks to the nearby harbor, Wretchport, while not large, was a bustling town. Strong law enforcement kept the town safe, and the market offered a good variety of wares. Let us organize a mob. With his powerful voice and imposing demeanor, Grand Inquisitor Cervantes easily commanded the crowd's attention. He rallied against evil and promised eternal damnation for those who refused to join the fight against sin. Soon the entire town was rallied to a state of blind rage.
Every member of the order that Raum identified was dead. It was time for the Inquisitor to meet up with him again.
Ah, shoot, I forgot to buy the doses of opium. Oh well, hopefully they won't be too expensive. When Perez and Cervantes arrived, the harbor was in chaos. Fighting was normal here, but it turned into a slaughter as villagers surprised the dock workers, prostitutes, and sailors with their bloodthirsty attacks. As the harbor glowed with burning bodies, an eager young man brought Cervantes a cipher piece that had been revealed by the flames. The harbor was never the same, however, and the region entered a period of severe economic distress. Ooh. Alright, let's see, where are they? Let's see, there's a doctor. Oh wait, was the Chinese trader not revealed until afterwards? The collected cipher pieces weren't close enough. Blah blah blah. Vision. Yeah, okay, now the Chinese trader is available.
Raoum's vision directed the Inquisitor towards the house of worship. The mystic assured him that Delir would be there.
Sure he is. Well, anyways, I will now see you guys once we have passed this tactical mission and have taken care of or moved on to the next set of slaughterings. Okay then, made it to the next set of massacres. Already bought up a holy musket and a candle of the dead. First up, the distillery. Burning a building usually required planning and effort. Not so with distilleries. Just a small fire here and a few gunshots there, Cervantes was unable to unleash an inferno that consumed the entire structure. When things were finally quiet, the posse inspected the charred bodies and found the cipher piece on Brendan Hennessy himself. However, with the distillery gone, booze prices would go up, which would make many people unhappy. Like I care. Starting a bar fight was not difficult. Cervantes began an assortment of curses and baseless accusations, which quickly led to a brutal brawl where eyes were gouged out and limbs chopped off. Cervantes saw the flaw in his plan when the Inquisitor and his companions were dragged into the fight and seriously injured. Nevertheless, they managed to extricate themselves. Once the slaughterhouse quieted, the posse found another cipher piece in the body of one of the victims. Cervantes left his companions at the brothel and returned to Copperton to raise a mob. 2 hours later, I'm surprised they would go with him considering what he did, he led a clamoring group of bloodthirsty simpletons ready to murder whomever Cervantes told them in the name of the Lord. Women and patrons alike fell to their depredations. Even Madame Hosmer's pleas for mercy fell on deaf ears. When the massacre was complete, the posse scoured the premises for the cipher. Cervantes found a glimmering in one of the corpse's wounds. Cervantes made many enemies that day.
Every member of the Order in the area was dead, but the cipher was still incomplete. The Inquisitor hoped that Vedholm had more information to offer.
Cervantes went to the miners, wild-eyed, warning them of an imminent Indian attack. Perturbed by this news, the miners flocked into the mine tunnels, while Cervantes and Perez stayed topside to keep lookout. Perez lit a stack of dynamite with a cigar and then threw it down the shaft. Once the moaning stopped, Cervantes searched among the loose body parts, eventually finding the cipher piece. He had a feeling, however, that iron firearms would become more expensive shortly due to the metal shortage this massacre would cause. Yes, a message,
The
blah
letter
blah
from
blah.
a supposed ally was an interesting turn of events. However, the motivations of the sender were a mystery. Cervantes hoped to finally deal with the clairvoyant who remained a thorn in his side.
Yes, well, with that, I will see you for the next set of massacres. Okay then, we've reached the next set of massacres. Now, supposedly, the person who wrote the guide managed to do this without carrying out a massacre in the cave. I'm going to trust them on this one. And I'm not going to do the massacre at the cave. Just so that we can get that one posse member. Cervantes used his sweetest talk, including assurances that he would be doing God's work. Hinshaw interrupted him, stating bluntly that he knew Cervantes burned down the brothel. It had been his favorite. His little stunt would cost Cervantes extra. That's where the 250 comes from. Alright, fair enough. Well, head for the cave, kill only the Order member, so that we can get that posse member. And now we're just gonna slaughter the rest. There was no way Cervantes could kill all the natives himself, and tricking the tribesmen into turning on one another seemed unlikely. There was a force, however, that would be both willing and capable of slaughtering them all. Talked the cavalry into attacking the native village. Most of the cavalrymen were relaxing, playing cards, or napping in the corner. Captain Michael Alexis was very hospitable to the members of the clergy, such as Cervantes. When Cervantes told Captain Alexis that the Indians were preparing to attack the fort, he orders his troops to prepare for a preemptive strike. Cervantes barely managed to tell Alexis to keep his eyes open for a strange metallic piece before the cavalry rode off. The tribe was no more. When Cervantes arrived at the scene, Captain Alexis handed him the cipher piece without saying a word. He noted that Indian-crafted goods would be hard to obtain from now on. And lastly, the trading post. Let the devils sort him out. Cervantes spread rumors around the crowd that the proprietors had been fencing goods and goods taken in Indian attacks back to the people who had been stolen from. When he accused the vendors openly, a lynch mob formed which pushed the staff to the ground and stomped the life out of them. When their bloodlust had dissipated, they dispersed. Cervantes searched through the bloody, misshapen remains to find another cipher piece. We're gonna leave. Just gonna keep going. Okay. Huh. Devil hasn't appeared, and we haven't gotten the mammoth rifle. Unless I accidentally skipped over something. No. Looks like we actually do have to go through and slaughter everyone. Shoot. Okay, then. I'll restart the scenario, and I'll see you guys once we get to that point, having slaughtered everyone. Okay, then, we're back. I managed to make my way all the way back to here. Hopefully, by completing the slaughter at the cave, we will unlock, or be able to unlock, all of the mammoths. Or, sorry, it's been a long day. Unlock the mammoth rifle. Cervantes and his compatriots collected dry wood and grass and built a bonfire just beyond the trapdoor. Cervantes lit it, then closed the trapdoor and blocked it with rocks. As acrid smoke filled the passages below and screams of the victims wafted up, Cervantes sat contemplatively smoking. Once the screams died down, they removed the rocks, vented the chamber, and began slicing open bodies until they found the cipher piece. This does mean we will have one less posse member, but so be it. Still nothing? Unless, is it not supposed to show up until I hit Sanctuary, in which case I might have actually still been able to. Ah, they were closing in on the Sanctuary. When the stranger appeared, Cervantes kneeled. The stranger said he was pleased with the death and destruction Cervantes had caused. As a reward, he had decided to give the Inquisitor nothing less than a gun forged in the fires of hell. The Inquisitor thanked his master and then continued his quest with renewed determination. With that, we have unlocked... Oh boy, this happens every time I'm playing it for too long. Come on! The Mammoth Rifle. If the Elephant Rifle doesn't have enough stopping power, here's something heavier. Scope, but you get -15 aim. So, it is what it is. Also for this run, I also went easy and used the full deck just so I could get things like Full House. So in reality, I might have actually been able to hit the not done the cave, but at the same time, a guide posted by, I believe, the developers states all massacre missions. So I'm not 100% sure. Let me check the menu, see whether or not. Yep, the Mammoth rifle is unlocked, so I don't have to go through that final mission. Yay. Okay, but with that, we have come to an end for this episode. Next week, or next time, sorry, I forgot I don't have a secondary series at the moment, we are going to be taking on A Matter of Time. On the run from the evil Inquisitor, Cassandra lit out for Mexico. Once there, would take charisma, an iron will, and a healthy dose of precognition to untangle the lies and deception that surrounded her. But that's for tomorrow. I've had a long day trying to record this little section of unlocking the Mammoth rifle, so yeah. I'm just going to end it off here for today. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications when I upload, or to hit the straw poll link to vote for our next Let's Play. And please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.